Everyone, please be seated that do have chairs, and the rest of you will try to keep it brief. Good evening. My name is Stu Francis, President of the USGA. It is my honor this evening to welcome all of you to the opening ceremony of the 42nd Curtis Cup match. This will be a very special evening at a very special golf course, and I know it's going to kick off a memorable weekend. First, a big thanks to the Sousa's Liberty Bell Marching Band. Thank you very much. What a setting. To the staff and the membership of Merion, to our incredibly talented players and captains, and to our friends who've traveled from near and far to participate and watch this exciting Curtis Cup. On behalf of the entire USGA, we would like to thank you for all you do for the game, all the support you provide the teams, and we're all going to be able to witness history made this weekend, so we're going to have a wonderful time. This particular ceremony, the Curtis Cup flag raising ceremony, is a very honored tradition that really celebrates the lasting impression that this match has made on everyone who's been a participant, a captain, or a spectator. Everyone, take it all in. Enjoy the experience, watch the play, watch your flag being raised, and particularly for the competitors, enjoy the camaraderie that you have with 16 of the greatest women players in the world today. It's going to be a wonderful time for all of you. And come Sunday, one of the teams will be named the Curtis Cup champion, and it's going to be an exciting moment. We could not do all this without the support and the friendship of our counterparts at the R&A, led by Peter Forster, captain of the R&A of St. Andrews. He is here this evening, along with a number of other key people from the R&A. So we're delighted to have them, host them. They just hosted us at the Curtis Cup in Conway back in August of last year, and we deeply appreciate all we do together for the game of golf. As any one of these 16 women can tell you, many of whom competed against each other 9 months ago in the Curtis Cup in Wales, the Curtis Cup holds a very special place in the hearts of all golfers. Only the very best earn the opportunity to be selected for the team and represent their country, and the dedication it takes to receive this honor is well understood, well recognized, and it's truly a great honor to all of you. I would also like to mention the two women who brought this great event to life, the Curtis sisters, Margaret and Harriet. They combined to win 4 U.S. Women's Amateur Championships together. They donated the silver cup for the Curtis Cup, which is inscribed with the following, quote, "to stimulate friendly rivalry among the women golfers of many lands." I think that says it all, and certainly it will say what this weekend is going to be about. Next to our sites, the clubs that host this wonderful match truly appreciate amateur golf at its highest level. We're thrilled to have a host of representatives of some of the most important sites, both that we've already had and ones that are upcoming. I'd like to honor them now for just a moment. We have representatives from Bel Air Country Club, from Quaker Ridge Golf Club, from National Golf Links, from Sunningdale, from Conway Golf Club, and from Nairn Golf Club. Now, this is one of the most favorite parts of this ceremony. We would really like to mention and honor all the past captains and the past players who are here this evening and for this weekend to watch this competition this year. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge each and every one of them. I'll mention their names. They can please stand, and please hold your applause until we finish. Ida Butler, Mary Budke, Leanne Harden-Creevy, Patricia Cornett, Claire Dowling, Mary Hafman, Nancy Hager-Hale, Brenda Hocott, Bridget Jackson, Wendy Kopp-Ebster, Brenda Corey Keene, Martha Lang, Noreen Moeller, Ellen Port, Ann Sander, Leslie Shannon Stewart, Megan Stasi, Karen Stupples, Carol Semple Thompson, and Marla Weeks. Let's give them all a huge round of applause. It is now my pleasure to recognize the chairman of the R&A, Ian Pattinson, and Alec Bissett, the chairman of the R&A Amateur Championship Committee. Ian, the microphone is yours.
Good evening. Merion President Castleman, USGA President Francis, Curtis Cup players past and present, and other friends of this match. On behalf of the R&A and the Royal and Ancient Golf Club, I bring greetings from St Andrews, the home of golf. I thank the board of Merion Golf Club and its members, I'm proud to say my fellow members, and the wonderful staff here for all they have done to host the 42nd Curtis Cup. Without question, the playing of the Curtis Cup this week will add yet more luster to the legend of amateur golf at Merion. The greatest amateur ever, Bobby Jones, started and ended his championship career here, and the completion of his Grand Slam in 1930 cemented Merion's place in the pantheon of the world's great golf clubs. Just 2 years later, in 1932, the Curtis sisters established the playing of this cup as an international contest. Merion has rightly been described as one of the cathedrals of golf, and I commend the USGA for naming it as the host club and also for committing to bring US Opens, men's and women, here between 2030 and 2050. A very strong indicator, I suggest, of future confidence in the absolute length of this golf course. Watching the teams practice, I'm struck by the many different ways a golf course can be played. While power is certainly on display, there is a grace and elegance about the women's game, which is not always evident in men's golf. To use an analogy, it is an experience of great classical music rather than heavy metal. Amateur golf lies at the very heart of our sport. Even tour players were once amateurs. While upward pressure on prize money in the professional game is more obvious than ever, the future development of amateur golf largely relies on the ability of the governing bodies of golf to maximize revenues from our major championships to fund amateur golf, including international events like the Curtis Cup. To both teams, I say this. I'm certain that your overall enjoyment of this week will not be defined solely by the match result. Whether you win, tie, or lose, each of you is an ambassador for your country. Wherever golf may take you in the future, there can be no bigger honor in all of sport. I conclude with the following. It is of the essence of golf that it should be played in an atmosphere conducive to the utmost courtesy and consideration of one player for the others, and upon the very highest level in matters of sportsmanship, observance of the rules, and fair play. These are not, of course, my words, but those of Bobby Jones. They exemplify this contest as a manifestation of the spirit of golf and the spirit of the Curtis Cup. Play well. It is now my pleasure to introduce you to my friend, USGA Executive Committee member, Courtney Merion. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. We are so grateful for our long-standing friendship and partnership with all of you at the R&A. And speaking of long-standing partnerships, I'd like to take a minute to acknowledge those here at Merion Golf Club who make this week possible. A lot goes into hosting a Curtis Cup match. And the staff and membership here have worked tirelessly for years to bring us all together for this memorable week. There is a reason why Merion has hosted more USGA championships than any other club. This week, it will be its 19th. Merion's rich USGA championship history started in 1904 when it hosted the U.S. Women's Amateur and includes a previous Curtis Cup here in 1954. I would especially like to acknowledge Chair Lindsay Forgash, President John Castleman, and General Manager Paula Kelly. Your dedication and efforts have not gone unnoticed. And now, John, we'd love for you to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, Courtney. On behalf of the Board of Governors and all of our members, welcome to Merion. We are thrilled that you're all here for this historic match. I want to offer a warm welcome to the USGA, the R&A, and all of the players and your families and all of the volunteers and Merion members who are here to support the Curtis Cup. And congratulations to the members of each team and their captains for being selected to compete in the 42nd Curtis Cup. Best of luck to all of you. This is our third time hosting an international team match at Merion, and the first in a series of championships that we will be hosting on our restored East Course. We are excited to showcase the world's best women amateurs this weekend. We hosted the Curtis Cup in 1954 and the Walker Cup in 2009. The friendships that have developed over the years from matches such as these are noteworthy. I sincerely hope this match continues that tradition, and I'm sure that it will. Finally, I want to thank the USGA for all that you've done to support this event. Thank our members for all that you've done today to make this possible, our wonderful volunteers, and our Merion staff who make everybody feel welcome and at home. So thank you. And now, I would like to introduce the Philadelphia Girls Choir, who will sing the Irish national anthem.
I'd ask you to all keep standing as the Philadelphia Girls Choir will sing God Save the Queen. Elaine, the podium is yours.
USGA President, RNA Captain, RNA Chairman, President of Merion. Officials of USGA, RNA, members of Merion Golf Club, distinguished past players, ladies and gentlemen. It is so hard to believe that we were only together playing our last Curtis Cup 10 months ago. It really does only feel like it was last week. It's actually now so lovely to be here and see so many family and friends from both teams to be able to come here to support each other. We achieved so much in Conway with the COVID restrictions that were in place, and I have to thank both the RNA and the USGA for pushing on through it with everything that was going on. It was a tremendous spectacle for women's golf, a great match, and I've had so many compliments from those that were able to watch it on TV. It was so wonderful for all of us to be part of it, and I don't doubt that this match will be the same. However, we are very much in a different place, and whilst our focus is on this match, we are very much aware that we are not just Great Britain and Ireland, but part of Europe. And things that have been going on the last couple of months, our thoughts are with the Ukrainian people who are out there fighting for their rights to live in peace. This is my 4th visit in 6 months to this historic venue, learning more about the course each time we come here, and its history that surrounds it. It is truly an incredible venue to host the 42nd Curtis Cup. We have had 4 days as a team to get to know this course. We have been absolutely blown away by its intricacies. I don't think I've also seen a course in better condition. We have loved playing it, and we've learnt a lot. You certainly would never, ever get bored of playing this golf course. Members of Merion, you are very, very lucky people who I'm sure you appreciate what you have here. We are truly honoured to be part of the 2nd Curtis Cup to be played here at Merion and follow on from the previous USGA events, and obviously, in particular, the US Open and Justin Rose's triumph. For a course that has held so many USGA championships, its members and staff are so incredibly welcoming. We have been thoroughly spoiled, and which has only added to what a special venue it is. I am now delighted to be here at the opening ceremony to introduce the 42nd Great Britain and Ireland Curtis Cup team. Our first is Hannah Darling. Louise Duncan. Annabelle Fuller. Charlotte Heath. Kaylee McGinty. Emily Price. Lauren Walsh. Amelia Williamson. And my manager, Susan Simpson. Wishing both teams a fantastic few days, a closely fought out match, and friendships made that will last a lifetime. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaine, and thank you, Curtis Cup team from GB&I. We're delighted to have you here. Now, I would like to welcome back the Philadelphia Girls Choir to sing the Star-Spangled Banner. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Philadelphia Girls Choir. Sarah, the microphone and the podium are yours now.
Good evening, everyone. I am so pleased to be here tonight. It is truly a dream and an absolute honor to captain the USA team for the 42nd Curtis Cup match here at Merion, one of my very favorite golf courses. When I look back at my times as a player during the Curtis Cup matches, my best memories are the lifelong friendships that were created and cemented during our week-long experiences. The Curtis Cup isn't about the individual, it's about the team. As Stu mentioned, the Curtis Cup truly is a family, and many past players, including some of my teammates, are here this weekend to support and celebrate these magnificent players. Having the chance to captain the team last year was the experience of a lifetime. I learned so much about the current state of the women's amateur game. When people ask me what I like best about the Curtis Cup at Conway last summer, I say them, the girls, my team. There is no doubt they are all phenomenal golfers, but this particularly cohesive group of young ladies are also extremely personable, genuine, and just plain fun. I feel so fortunate to have had the chance to get to know them, see how expertly they manage themselves in their games. What stands out to me most about this year's USA team is their camaraderie. These young ladies truly enjoy each other. I am proud to be their captain, and I know they will represent our country well. Without further ado, I'm delighted to introduce your 2022 USA Curtis Cup team. If each of you would stand and remain standing when your name is called. Amari Avery. Jensen Castle. Mega Gane. Rachel Heck. Rachel Keene. Amelia Miliacho. Latana Stone. Rose Zhang. And our fabulous team manager, Laura Nakta. Thank you all for being with us. I look forward to the next 3 days of spirited competition. Thank you.
And now I have the privilege to announce tomorrow's four-ball lineups. First at 7:30 a.m. for the United States of America, Rachel Heck and Rachel Keene. They will face, from Great Britain and Ireland, Hannah Darling and Annabelle Fuller. The second match at 7:42 a.m. from the United States of America, Amari Avery and Mega Gane. And from Great Britain and Ireland, Kaylee McGinty and Lauren Walsh. And the third match at 7:54 a.m., Rose Zhang and Emilia Migliaccio of the United States will face Louise Duncan and Charlotte Heath from Great Britain and Ireland. Thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. Here's to a great weekend ahead and the 42nd Curtis Cup match. See you all tomorrow.